Okay, 7 o'clock. Doors, please rise to the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Mary Berenger. Here. Paul is excused. Robert Laraway.
Here.
Brent Peavy.
Here.
Earl Shannon here. Dave Torgerson.
Here. We have a quorum. We have the agenda approved or in front of us here. There are no objections, we'll accept it as written. Seeing none, agenda is approved. Consent agenda. Any additions, corrections? Questions? Entertain a motion to adopt the consent agenda. Motion to accept. Motion made by Laraway to accept the consent agenda. Is there a second? Seconded by Peavy. Further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. All opposed say no. Motion carries. Okay, reports and presentations. I want to thank Tim and his staff for a yeoman's effort during the ice storm with all the trees and ice and everything down and cleaning off the roads in the last couple of weeks. It's been more of a challenge getting down Coldwater and River Road than it is in Lake Isabella. So I know that sometimes we take that for granted. I sure don't though, and I appreciate it. Also, I have a award to give Tim from the International City Managers Association for being a member for 25 years.
Gracious.
I'm old. Tim old.
Yay.
To clarify, I've not been here 25 years.
Correct.
Okay.
Almost.
Yeah.
22 on Groundhog's Day.
He was here, you were in Breckenridge
Yes,
prior to this.
I was a council member. Breckenridge.
Yeah. That explains a lot.
I moved over to the dark side. So I only had to convince 7 people to give me a job, not 200 to vote for me. It's a lot easier.
Boy.
Congratulations, Tim. Thank you for all your efforts.
They could have given this me in person, but I had to fly down to Tampa on the village's dime, and I thought this is probably a lot easier.
Approved.
That.
Approved.
Sorry.
Knowing this is opportunity.
Yeah.
Darn.
I would have approved it though.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would have.
Yes.
All right.
Next time.
Next, you should tell us in sooner. Yeah.
25 years we could approve it.
Yeah, his 50-year one. You can
Yeah.
fly down to Tampa.
All right, Mr. Manager, your report.
Yeah, plowing a lot of snow, cutting a lot of trees, going through a lot of salt, a lot of sand. No 2 winters are alike. This year, that ice storm we got realistically was probably one of the top 5 storms in my 22-ish years here that we've had to manage. Simply from a tree down standpoint. The new John Deere with the grapple was unbelievably awesome in that event. Like we legitimately probably had 100 tree limbs that we had to clean, and we were done by 2 o'clock the next day because it was pick it up, move it out of the way, pick it up, move it out of the way. A lot of good positive feedback from that. I had a call from Ike King on Monday thanking us for the work that we did to keep the place somewhat drivable Monday morning. But yeah, this winter, we had a little bit of a reprieve. But it's been pretty taxing, December and January so far, and the next really to the end of the month is going to be cold. So, but on the plus side, not to be a weatherman, but if it gets cold, the big lakes might freeze up a little bit. That'll choke off the lake effect. Hopefully that'll help moving forward. But on to my report, I did reach out to the county. We were seeing a vehicle that was being continually left overnight at Gilmore Park. through some back and forth, they did agree they put up like a no camping sign. I did give them a copy of the deed from Lake Isabella to the county that pointed out that you can't camp there, so, sign would be the least they could do, in my opinion. But yeah, car was parked there for like 4 or 5 days in a row, overnight, just left. It was back this weekend, but gone, so,
There were people fishing at night.
yeah, that car was there the whole time, like snow was on it,
Got it.
no tire track
Yeah,
leave it, like,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Keeping
it warm.
And that kind of leads into the next point. In the budget, we approved funds for 2 streetlights, one at Queensway and Sevilla, one at DeQuesta and Villado. Giving that type of activity where we're seeing at the park, which is more frequent people hanging out there in the evening. Not during ice fishing season.
Right.
To me, that's a place that a third streetlight would be a wise investment. So I haven't gotten the prices back from Homeworks on that yet, but I would look at probably adding a third one to our plan this year, just for that, for a deterrent type thing, that's such a convenient location that you can park way back and no one really sees you. If we can throw some light on that park, it may encourage people to find another place for whatever business they are transacting in that park.
The side advantage too is lots of deer cross there.
100%, that's a great
So
point.
that would
Very good
really
point.
help there.
Yeah. We do have a sign there, yeah.
Deer can't read.
And the sign is lovely.
It's lovely, it's a lovely sign. Like on 20, it says like next 3 miles, I was gonna get one that just said everywhere. We did put the dam inspection report for 2025 up on our webpage, so if you were to go to our website, under the Your Community tab, there is a whole page that is the Lake Isabella Dam, and we have over 30 documents, inspections, reports, all that stuff going back to the original construction, so that was born out of the discussions going back to the drawdown in 2014. We wanted to have a single repository that the community can go and look at all the stuff and come to whatever conclusion they want to make about the dam and that kind of stuff. But there was no issue with the dam inspection report this year. So right now it's still on that every 3-year cycle because it is considered a high hazard dam. And then lastly, our MISHDA grant money has been submitted for final approval, so we should be receiving those funds hopefully in the near future.
They got downgraded though, the dam. It's fair, not satisfactory anymore.
What part is fair?
I haven't read it all the way through the
Yeah.
report. I've just heard rumblings about it. There's some small maintenance things that are easily fixable.
Sure.
I think there's brush and trees and like a chain link fence that needs to be put back up or something to get back to the satisfactory, but I thought it was worth noting that.
Yeah, it was nothing structural with the dam though.
No, but it's still, it's still a
Yeah.
downgrade, but.
Okay, any other questions, comments? Okay, thank you, Mr. Wolf. Ms. Behringer, Public Safety Committee met at 6 o'clock. What did you come up with? Anything?
We discussed, some of the options that we are thinking about presenting to the public on the layers of, funding versus coverage. And versus if we
For
did it
police?
in-house.
For
For
policing?
policing, if we contracted out versus in-house coverage.
So you're doing a cost differential?
Yeah, we're trying to, think of the best way to present the best information so that it's not an overload of data.
Right.
We are going to meet again and continue on that.
Okay. When's your next meeting? You know yet? Did you say?
17.
The 17th of next month.
Next month. Good enough. Any questions for anybody? All right, public hearings, we have none. Public comments? Anything? Nothing? Existing business. We'll look to our airport liaison. Public Cal Tour Memorial Airport. Mr. Corser may have been here, but he's not here. Is there any update on that?
So he stopped in last week and just had a couple questions about when they would take over the insurance payment if that was the only payment that would be required for the lease option. They're very interested in the lease option until they can get all of their ducks in a row and then take over the airport completely. But until that point, they're interested in the lease option. They just needed to know if they were going to be responsible for the insurance from like January through June of this year, or if the payment would start in July of the new fiscal year when the new insurance comes out.
Okay, and we're paid up until,
I think June 30th. Actually, no, it's into August, isn't it? Because the airport policy, it doesn't match tightly on the fiscal year. It's a little bit after, but I would say Labor Day ballpark.
so they,
Yeah.
we already paid that.
We've already paid for this fiscal year.
So, and they're aware of that. They just didn't know when it ended.
They wanted to know if they were gonna be responsible, like, once they took the lease over, if we were gonna like prorate it to where they would still be, they'd be responsible for the months, even though they would then pay us back for what we've already paid. Since they were leasing it, or if that payment amount would then start when the
When
new
they took it
insurance. Mhm. And I told Tom that that would be a council decision.
Yeah. So what direction do we wanna give them? Folks, what do we think?
Well, we're basically just leasing it to them for cost and then they are going to be responsible for the upkeep and everything from that going forward.
Correct.
Well, then,
When they have the lease, they're responsible for everything, correct, Tim?
Correct, yeah. Well, the way that we would want to do it is we would still do the insurance and the lease amount would cover the insurance.
right,
Gotcha.
right. So I mean, the lease amount is just for the insurance coverage more or less is what I'm getting at.
Mhm.
So I mean, if that's the case, in my mind, I mean, the insurance money. It's, although it's already paid, it should be reimbursed to the village. If they're taking it over from that point moving forward.
Yes. How much is that, by the way?
Like $1,600 roughly. every
A
quarter.
year?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's not. Okay, so that would be included in their lease payment? Or
Yeah.
That would be their lease.
That would be
payment?
their lease payment. essentially.
Gotcha. And they're fine with that? They just wanted to know?
They want to know, are you going to make them pay the full 1,600 or just
Break it down. monthly.
6 months of that 1,600?
Whenever they took the lease.
I think whenever they
Makes
take the
sense.
lease.
So the
that's
remainder is what you're saying.
The remainder.
I don't care what you guys do.
Yeah, I don't, I mean, we already spent it,
So
so.
I've already spent it, yeah, like,
Yeah,
I just think there, my only thing is there should be like a hard cap before we renew it, like. You gotta make your decision by,
yeah,
you know, July 1st, or we're gonna cancel that policy and then that's over. We're not gonna have an airplane.
yeah. How much time did he say, indicate that he need? Did he indicate online we? He did.
Not necessarily. He said that they are in talks. It's hard for everybody to get together right now. They've got one person working on the LLC. They've got another person working on some other logistics.
Okay, do we wanna send the hard cap then? Do we wanna set it now, so that at least Jessica has something to say to him? He asks.
So tell me what we would say.
Like Brent said, June 1st or whatever.
Yeah, I could care less if they reimburse us, we've already paid the
Yeah.
policy, right?
It's
If
kind of
they're,
like a-
I
they
think
already signed up for it, I mean, that'd be an olive branch, you have 6 months to,
90 days before the policy expires.
Yes,
yeah.
Yeah, we could say 90 days.
We want a
before.
written notice, or,
Yeah.
you know, we're gonna look to.
Yeah.
We're just gonna remove it from our policy. So we
yeah, I
save,
agree with that,
you know, so we save the money.
rather than collecting cash now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I don't want that to stop them from taking over the lease.
Right.
Since we've already paid it on Brent.
Yeah. But I mean, at some point, I mean, we've been talking about this for
Right,
a
right.
while, I mean, at some point, we gotta say, like, there's a deadline.
Yeah.
So it has to progress.
Yeah, I'd say 90 days before the policy expires.
Okay,
It'll
so
expire 90 days, or our date would be 90 days.
90 days to accept a lease or 90 days to take it over? Because at that point, then are we not going to do a lease?
It's not what you say. You're saying 90 days before the insurance is
Yeah.
done. before the
they
insurance
have to-
policy ends.
They have to take the lease.
They have to sign at least 90 days before. a policy.
And they're fine with that. They wanna sign a lease right now.
Yeah.
That part they're great with. They said, yes, they'll do that because that gives them the time to continue working on taking the airport over. Their only question was, will their payments, how much they
They
need
have to start paying now.
upfront? Or when would they start paying? That's their only question. They'll sign a lease as soon as it's ready.
I would just say new policy, we've already spent the money.
Yeah, I agree.
Right,
You know,
I agree.
So their payments would start
with the new
with
policy.
the new
With the new
policy.
policy.
We could write the lease though and have
They
that
can-
start now.
they can have the lease now, but
Okay. That's, yep.
in the lease, you'll
Yeah.
take over, that will be written in the lease.
Yeah.
But you have to assume the liability.
Are the airport lights on their own meter?
Yes,
It is,
Yeah.
so it's separate.
yeah, it's on a separate meter and there's a transmitter option, so if you're a pilot, you can dial in the frequency, might click 3 times and come on, will come off, whatever you do. We also have it set on a timer now, a dawn till dusk, that way. If there's a radio issue, something like that,
Emergency landing.
emergency, so they're on, and frankly, I think they just look decent being on it, they really do.
Well, that was just something I didn't know if, how we are gonna handle the power if they pay the bill,
Yeah, we
because we
transfer that
wanted
to
it
them.
on all night.
That'll be part of the lease.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, we'll transfer that to them and,
Then they
They
can
can do
do how
maintenance
they
of
want.
property mowing. and
Yeah.
everything.
Yep.
Power's almost nothing, eh?
no, the
like
meter
70
fees more than the power bill.
They've already looked into that as well. I mean, he's asked what it was and I told him it's like
Yeah.
78 bucks a month, so. And he and some of the other airport people were part of, setting it up to where it's on at night, so they're not gonna have any issues.
Yeah.
With that.
Okay, good, perfect, thank you. So you know what to say,
Yes.
okay.
So we could perhaps expect at least by next meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to write the lease.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So,
So realistically, at least in the next 60 days, yeah.
Yeah.
okay,
Next couple meetings, okay. New business, proposed ordinance 2026-01 Land Division Act regulations.
So among,
Found that interesting, Tim.
yeah, our community has a pretty unique history with the Land
Yep.
Division Act. Our original planning commission chair, Mr. Jack Walker, when he was a lobbyist for the Realtors Association, was one of the primary authors of the current rendition of the Land Division Act as adopted in the mid-90s. Yours truly worked with the MML and a couple of senators to come up with this proposed amendment to the Land Division Act. Specifically, what this does is right now, under the act, everything that was legally existing as of March 31st, 1996 is considered a parent parcel. And the act says that based on the size of your parent parcel, these are the number of divisions you get. It's based on acreage. And if you were to create a new private road or new public road, so there's no driveways going onto a new road, or you retain 60%, you get bonus divisions and et cetera, et cetera. And then the law says after 10 years, any of those splits are eligible for redivision based on this size metric. And that's it. That's what the law says. Well, 1996, I hate to tell you, was like
long time ago.
30 years ago. I know this because I graduated high school in 97, like 30-year reunion's coming up next year. So, the law never, like we call it parent parcel, we call it child. Well, it didn't ever account for grandchildren or great grandchildren, which you'd be getting into in a few years potentially based on the age of the act. And what we came up with and what came out of a request from downstate specifically was, if your local community has an ordinance that says you can do additional divisions, why do you need the act? Like, let the local communities decide how they're gonna handle this. They can grant additional divisions beyond what the state baseline is. We haven't really looked at any type of tweaks in our land division ordinance for, ever really since we adopted it. So I did a little cleanup on that, but most importantly, I included verbiage that would account for that new change in the statute, which was given immediate effect when Senate Bill 23 was adopted. That allows us as a village to grant additional splits beyond what the Land Division Act allows. And I don't have the computer hooked up tonight, but an area where this is incredibly impactful would be the remaining 10 acres on the Ledbetter State property, essentially. So down at the south end of the lake, we have Red Fox Court and we have Eagle View Drive. And originally, the Ledbetter family was going to do a subdivision there called Indian Meadows. They couldn't get approval from the health department for the number of lots they were gonna put in the subdivision. Cause it was sandwiched between South and Gulf Estates too.
Mhm.
It was really the issue. So they went and did divisions under the Land Division Act. Well, part of that division process, they left about 9.8 acres in roughly a square shape that fronts on River Road. Now, under the previous wording of the law, they've already used the parent parcel splits. The child parcel, which would be that 10 acre, could be divided into two parcels, I believe. So you have two 5 acre parcels.
Right.
And as the state was looking at how do we create developable real estate for our housing shortage, this is one of the things we went to them and said, you need to make it easier for communities to be able to divide up land that is too small to go through the platting or the site condo process into developable property. So actually, that does make a lot of sense, because right now, the only options would be site condo or plat that 10 acres out, and you're not gonna get enough money out of that to do that type of process. And then, a plat's gonna take a year to go through. It's a cumbersome process. So now what this proposed ordinance change would do was say, as long as the parcel meets our zoning for the parcel size of the district, you can divide it out. And if it's under an acre, though, we require you to provide well and septic, verification from the health department. So at the very least, we're gonna be able to get 10 parcels out of that one to allow, future development there as opposed to 2, without having to do.
And road egress?
Yeah, so that was the other change in here. When we did the cleanup to the zoning ordinance last year, we wiped the slate clean on private roads. You can't do this anymore, we're not doing it, et cetera, et cetera. Well, we need to make the following changes in the Land Division Act changes because it was permissive to doing private roads right now, so.
It's a house bill.
No, that was our ordinance.
That was ours.
Yeah. So cleaning that up, so there's consistency here with the zoning ordinance that you can't do a private road anymore.
Okay.
As all ordinances, it has to be formally introduced by a member of the council and a hearing set before you can take action on it.
Okay, I'll introduce it. That's a good idea. Okay, council rules. We have to do this every couple of years, is that right, Tim?
That's what your rules you guys adopted say. You need to review it in 2 years.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. That's up to you.
Well, no, but I think we did that because we were going through so much. This was,
I think you did it just so you look at it every 2 years.
yeah,
Just like when we look at the charter every couple of years, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
so. You wanna do this as a group, or do you wanna just have 2 people look at it from a committee and then report back to us? How do we wanna do this, folks? Could do it as a group,
I'm fine with my group.
or you can do it. It'll take time.
If we all went through the packer, I think we already have.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
okay, let's,
Let's just make a motion to accept them the way they are.
okay, did everybody get a chance to go through it all?
Mhm.
Are any changes or?
Anybody that did not,
No,
fine.
Any corrections or additions or questions you have about it? All right. Motion made by Laraway to accept the village council rules
Without change.
without change or addition. Yep. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by PV. Any further discussion? Seeing none, let's have a roll call, please.
Sure. Frank Peavy,
Yes.
Cheryl Shannon, yes, Carrie Behringer,
Yes,
Robert Laraway,
Yes,
Dave Jorgensen.
Yes. 6-0 passed. Okay. Or 5, no,
Yeah, I don't know why she didn't call me all night.
did you forget to call Joe?
I didn't call you?
No,
That's because you're not on this list. What? No.
Pass 5-0.
Yeah.
Pass
That's
5-0.
what-
You still have a quorum.
Right.
You're supposed to be home having it.
Okay, so I'm sorry.
Okay, and you can say,
Joe,
Yes.
thank you, Joe. I'm writing your name in right here.
6-0.
Yeah. Okay, why not? I grabbed the two in the front.
The ones that weren't in the,
Huh?
they were not in the binder, but in the pocket.
No, they were in the front of the tab, in the holes. Fine, so I don't even like this one.
that's okay. Personal preference aside,
Excuse me, I'm writing Joe on all the other spots here. Okay, I apologize.
That's fine.
I kept looking, thinking this is.
Easily overlooked, I understand.
Talk at the same time.
all right.
So now did I do it?
Yeah, that was the only rule I think we had. Okay,
I'm sorry.
ice storm cleanup discussion. Mr. Manager.
Yeah, when we do a storm cleanup like that, our focus is first, make sure every road is at least accessible for one lane, or every property can get in and out, so like, for example, during the overnight on that storm, we got called out from central dispatch to handle trees that were down, completely blocking roads. So one of them was on York Street down on the cul-de-sac. That tree completely cut off that road. That was one that we had to open. There was one down on DeQuessa between Harmon and Riviera with a bunch of trees that were kind of sketchy as well. We just calmed that one off. You can drive around the block to get out at that point in time. So it's safety first for our folks doing it. There was some on Granada. We had two that were super sketchy that we had to clean out because that was not fun. The wind the next day, stuff still coming down, but the road was completely blocked. But when we do this, we're pushing stuff off to the shoulder, pushing it to the ditch, that kind of stuff. And what this has done over time is create a lot of areas where we've got just brush piled up around places. And I think it would be in our community's best interest from an aesthetics point, but also from a safety standpoint, to invest in a wood chipper that we could run at least 12-inch material through to get rid of this stuff, chip and just blow it back into the vacant lots at that point in time. Because if you think about it in a worst case scenario, which is one of the things I tell you guys you have to think about, is we've put all this wood by the side of our road in areas where there's a lot of trees. Well, what happens if we have a dry May and June and we're getting to July and someone sets off a firework and now you've got all the dead underbrush on fire, and now you've got all this fuel that you've piled up on the side of the road. To me, that's a safety hazard for the community that we should address,
Yeah.
So looking at what is realistic in our price range, I think a used model would probably be something that would be very attainable without breaking our budget, doing any type of serious change to plans that we may have. But then we could also double up on this and use that to help manage the brush pile that we currently have. We manage that primarily through burning it at this point in time. We had a pit that was left by Wilcox that we filled in over time, and so we gotta start mitigating that pile down a little bit too. But looking in for your guys' feedback on this, Jerry and I also had a talk and said, we get a lot of bigger stuff dropped off too. It wouldn't be a bad idea to either get like a tow behind hydraulic log splitter that we could split that off and just pile for people that want to take their own firewood, nothing crazy, just break it up and pile it for them, because it's gonna be too big to run through the chipper at that point in time, so. But
Well, once you get done splitting it, drop it off at my house.
Well, I mean, seriously, community firewood banks are a growing thing, like, we can just create a pile. Where you have at, we have people that go back there now and do that, like, hey, can I come cut up wood, like, you can cut up and take as much wood as your soul wants.
You can have the tree on my shed.
This one, yeah.
Yeah, I think our community would definitely like having a free firewood pile to
Yes,
take
I
from.
agree.
And if we run a chipper, I've seen other communities that do the same thing and they just put it in the pile behind, like, the skipper, DPW. And let people take it that wanna use it for mold.
Yeah, so we do that too, we have a big pile,
Yeah,
like, come
great.
take all the chips you want,
Yeah.
free for the taking.
Nice.
I think the chipper is an excellent idea. Is there really that big a price difference between a used one and a new one though?
Yes.
There is now, yeah.
Landmark sells refurbished.
Yeah, I was thinking could reach out to our local ones and say, hey, this is our budget, we realize there's probably nothing that you're gonna be able to get us new in that range, but do you have a demo or something, like, we wanna give you that option before we try and source one, so,
Demo
and
would be nice.
just see what they tell us,
Yeah.
I was gonna suggest that, but, for a demo, like, a lot of like Moorbark and Bandit, I know they do like prototypes and they'll let you like use it for free. So like, I was gonna suggest renting, like, you can rent a chipper for $800 a week, like, the problem with these things is like, if you let it sit outside, you have hydraulic hoses,
Sure.
you have a bunch of stuff, like. It's great year 1, year 2, year 3, you go to get it out and now it needs this, and then it needs this, and then it just turns in. You and Jerry will be pulling your hair out, like, I hate this wood chipper, like, it's a pain in the butt, like. I don't know if you just like, I don't know if we have an ice storm, you can get monthly rentals too, like. I don't know if we rent it for a month or 2 months or however long it would take, and. They're finicky, and like the hydraulic hoses and different stuff, like. If it's ours, then it's your problem, and if it's a rental, hey, your stuff's broke, they keep it running. Yeah. I've messed with chippers before, they can be a pain in the butt,
Yeah.
and I don't know,
or the gas or diesel.
I've had both. Um,
Do you have a preference of one over the other?
I mean, diesels are nicer. They are. I think they're nicer.
The diesels work well in cold weather.
They start hard. Yeah. I'd rather have a diesel. A lot of the gas ones, if you put ethanol fuel in it, gums up carburetors and
Sure,
it's just hell, but
just load that baby with wreck fuel.
yeah, absolutely.
The only issue would be availability. Or would we just rent it for the X months when we could have an issue?
No, I think what Brent's suggesting is we rent it out in the summer and try and do the cleanup then, and
Got it.
when it's out of.
Yeah, whenever you wanna do the cleanup, just.
Just rent it for that period of time.
Like, yeah, the 12-inch ones are nice. I don't know if do you have a thumb on the backhoe?
No, we do not.
No. Cause I mean, to feed.
Cause that'd be hard to feed if you don't have
Yeah,
something to feed it.
yeah, like, if you wanna feed anything bigger than 6-inch, I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah.
need an excavator to load it. To feed the chipper,
John Deere grapple.
yeah. I don't know,
Well-
it doesn't matter to me, it's just, I don't know, just those things sitting around, I don't know, there's, every time you go. Yeah, I got this old wood chipper, it doesn't run, they're selling it for cheap, and then
Yeah.
I think it needs this, it needs that, and.
But it'd be nice to see a price comparison. If we could find a used one, it'd be nice to know what it costs versus renting, because I mean, if it's $800 to rent one for a week. And we can buy one for 3,000 or 4,000, I mean, even with having.
No, 15.
15,000
15,000.
cost right there.
Because we want one that'll take a big.
Versus rental is what I'm saying,
Right.
I mean, if renting is an option. It'd be nice to see that before we made a decision on what it would cost to rent it for.
I'm talking about like the knives and oil change and just your general upkeep, like owning one costs you money too. Where like renting,
Where do you rent them from?
like Rental Resource has them in Claire, if you wanted to go, bigger. I don't know, I'd probably only get a 6-inch, but 12 inches are great, but you have to have an excavator to feed it really. But they're sweet, they'll hog a whole tree.
Let's do this. Let's,
Or rent one, you can rent, I think we could probably get our hands on one from Bandit or Moorbark direct and get like a nicer one. And you might even be able to talk them into bringing like a tub grinder or one of their beasts and do the whole brush pile. And, hey, come demo this stuff and just get rid of our brush for us, please. They do a lot of stuff like.
Yeah,
in the community.
They have in the past, yeah.
Yeah. Cause that'd be, I mean, if you're gonna rent it, you know, you hook it to the John Deere and you go around like down the shoulders and stuff you're talking, that's a lot of work. That's the ton. Get a crew. Bring in some temporary employees or something,
Volunteer.
Council members.
yeah. I'd be driving down the shoulder with my mulcher.
We don't wanna show up to the next council meeting like
Yeah.
this. though. We don't wanna do that. All I think of is Fargo.
Gotta do safety first. I'll give you a hat.
Shake hands with danger.
Well, let's do this. Let's rent one for a while and see if we like it. And how big a one. We can rent a 6-inch one maybe and a 12-inch one, compare them.
Oh, 12-inch ones are awesome, I mean,
Yeah.
they're super sweet.
But like you said, I don't know how we get the stuff in there. Do you think the grapple will take a 12-inch line?
Oh, yeah. We moved a 18-inch oak tree off the road with that thing.
Did
Picked it
you?
up and just.
It's really good.
Yeah,
It's hard to, like, so an excavator, you swing like this, right? So like you can grab a tree over here and you just swing it into the excavator, like with wheels and like the grapple. I'm not saying it can't be done, but you have to like, once it grabs a hold of it, you gotta let go at the right time.
Oh, yeah.
Or like, you know, some of the bigger logs, I mean, if you chunk them up or whatever, they're in the ditch, I'll go get them. You know, if it's too big for the 6-inch,
Mhm.
we'll burn it for bonfire wood or in the fireplace or whatever.
Now, wouldn't you be splitting the larger stuff for the free wood?
And I'll just burn chunks.
Tim, are you envisioning just being able to do that right at the roadside?
Yeah.
During, like, we had this ice incident and you could have just,
no, I don't wanna do it during the ice, I don't wanna do it during.
no, but I mean, after the.
Yeah,
after
in
it's over.
spring, you know, as part of our spring cleanup, we're gonna go and chunk all that brush that's piled up along the side of the road.
Got it.
Which is ahead of the fire hazard time,
Yeah.
so, okay,
You know.
got it. That makes sense.
Cause I don't know, you know, thinking about it a little bit more, I mean, I like the idea of having one, I really do. But how often do we use it? That would be the thing.
Well, we could use,
You'd find
you could
uses,
use it a lot.
you'd find uses for it.
We had the same
but-
conversation, we bought the backhoe, and we use that thing all the time.
All the time, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
So you're saying it has to be in a heated enclosure to protect it?
no, yeah, I mean, hydraulic hoses go bad, like the knives need changed, you know, it's gonna need serviced once a year, you know, whether you use it or not, you should probably change the oil, and there's just.
That's with most of the equipment, though,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's.
I mean,
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, if we got a crew around, we had, you know. 3-4 guys feeding that thing, I mean, you could pull it around with the tractor and guys could just start throwing brush in it while you're going down the shoulders and.
Yeah.
Even if you rented it for a month, if it cost you, you know, $1,500.
yeah, I think unless you're a business doing it all the time, I mean, they break down because it's hard work for them. Like, they're just shredded.
You beat on them pretty good.
Yeah.
But
It's like worse than a rental car.
I think we still keep this in mind, but my idea would be. What I suggest would be let's rent one, let's find out how it works out, how much work it is.
Sure.
It may or may not be worth it. Your back starts aching after 2 days of doing it, then it may not be as,
Find you just want to rent.
you just wanna rent it.
when are you thinking to do this? Like, what was the timetable? Obviously not now, when it
Yeah.
warms up a little bit,
Yeah,
May.
early spring.
yeah, I love that.
Like
when it's
April?
50-60 degrees.
Yeah, so the nights are out, you know.
Not sweating a bunch, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Well, we could do it before the. What is it, that big, community yard sale?
Sell the mulch.
Yeah, good ideas.
Like the free sand pile.
But I do like the idea of, yeah, I like the idea of having.
Like a splitter and a chipper you wanna rent, or you wanna buy the
Oh,
splitter?
No, I think we buy the split.
I think we should have a split in there.
Buy the splitter.
There's a lot of big wood in there that people would take, that you would take. Yeah, I mean, there's oak back.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah. Oh, God, it was,
Guy filled up the back of his
Yeah.
truck and it didn't even dent what was there.
Oh.
I was there putting in brush. He says, that's okay to do this. I said, yeah, take it.
take whatever you want,
Take
man.
all you want.
We even had pumpkins where someone chucked their pumpkin guts out there and the next year there's a whole thing of pumpkins growing out there. Like, can I get these pumpkins? Like, take them, man. I don't care. Self-sell.
Okay. Did that give you enough information, Tim?
Yes.
Okay. Second, time for public comment. Seeing none? Anything from the council?
Yeah, I have something. I talked to Tim about it, last week or whatever. I've thought about it quite a bit and, I'm probably not gonna be running for reelection for the council. And it's just for the fact of my kids are gonna be 8 and 6. I'm gonna enter into a really heavy sports period time in my life, like, and most of our meetings are on Tuesdays, like. I'm still good this summer, but next year it's gonna be Tuesdays and Thursdays are just really popular game nights, so. I told Tim that I wanted to get it out and, have ample time to recruit somebody good. I still wanted to be involved like in the lake dredging thing, and if nobody runs for election, if the council wanted to appoint me on the board, knowing my schedule, I'd be cool with that too, but I just wanted to say it. With time, well before, I don't wanna keep it a secret. And when my kids are done with it, obviously I get back in, but just. Even my oldest isn't playing basketball, or if he did, the games right now would be Tuesday, Thursday,
Right.
so I wouldn't be here right now, and it's like, they're gonna play basketball, they're gonna play baseball. It's just.
Yeah, you got about 8 years, you're gonna be busy.
Yeah, I was gonna say 10.
I wanna definitely stay involved, and if I'm not. Sitting here, I'll be sitting there, if I don't have a ball game, I definitely come to the meetings and, do whatever I could do, but. Yeah, I mean, if anybody, has someone in mind, it gives someone a chance, they can start coming to the meetings and kind of get their feet wet before the election.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thanks for the heads up.
Now I'm sad.
Yeah, it feels terrible, I mean, I don't like,
I know what you're saying.
I'm not a quitter, I
I
don't
know,
quit,
I know,
but
but-
it's like. I don't.
But your kids, you have to.
Yeah, be realistic about the situation.
Yeah,
Right, I mean, I've dodged some bullets so far, but
yeah, I agree.
we might even see it this summer, I don't know what night, we're gonna be playing baseball, it was Monday, Wednesday last year, but. If it's Tuesday night, it's,
I understand. Been there, done that. Okay. Any further comments? Any announcements? Let's see. The safety committee's meeting 17th, 6 o'clock again, are you guys? Okay. And our next council meeting is
17.
same day.
double header.
Got it. I'm not too slow, just a little. All right, anything further? Adjourn.